Hi, and welcome to Plugged In. It's February, and that means Valentine's Day is on its way. And in the spirit of Valentine's Day, we're celebrating friendships, relationships, and special moments that can't help but touch our hearts. On today's show, meet Todd, a kidney transplant recipient, and his incredible friend Tanya, who touched his life by giving him the gift of life as a living kidney donor. And we're in Victoria with Mike Ravehill, CEO of the David Foster Foundation, to talk about the work they do in support of children in need of a life-saving transplant. And we've got your fit covered with Ryan of RD Fitness, who has great tips on how to keep your heart and kidneys healthy. And it's all coming up next, right here on Plugged In.
Welcome to Plugged In. I'm Deb, and I'm so pleased to be part of the host panel today. So if you're new to our show, you might be asking, what is Plugged In? Plugged In is a show that's about your health, and specifically the health of your kidneys. Why kidney? Because while our kidneys are incredibly important to our overall health, many people don't know a lot about their kidneys and the vital functions that they play in their body. So here on Plugged In, we talk about just that, and how to keep our kidneys healthy. We also talk about kidney disease, who's at risk, and the importance of organ donation. We'll share some amazing stories about those who have had life-saving transplants, those who have given the gift of life, and those who help care for kidney patients day in and day out, and so much more. But we also like to have a little fun on our show, and there's no one better to entertain us than my great co-hosts, Amro, Daniel, and William. Welcome, guys.
Hello. And hi, guys.
Great to be back. And can you guys actually believe it's already February already?
Oh, my goodness.
I know.
Yeah.
Crazy, eh?
For me, February means it's going to be very expensive because it's Valentine's Day, guys. So
Yeah, I mean,
you
lucky
take
for
care
you.
of you. Lucky for you.
Yeah.
Lucky for me.
Yeah, you're a female. You guys always win at Valentine's Day.
Shall I move it along? Tell you something else
Because he's
about
already going to be
February?
in trouble. So Yeah. let's keep going.
It's Heart and Stroke Month. Heart and Stroke Awareness Month,
Wow.
yeah. And I bring this up because what's good for your heart is often good for your kidneys. On previous shows, we've been sharing with you some of the best ways to keep your kidneys healthy, like...
Reducing your salt and sodium intake.
I know, I remember you shared some of your great low sodium chicken recipes.
I don't want to brag or nothing, but you're right. I did. Another great tip to remember is to drink lots of water and keep hydrated.
And another fun fact, one that's really good for your heart and kidneys, but something we don't always do, stay active.
That's a great one. And one of the easiest ways to do that is just to get moving, and walking is a great place to start. Right? Boosts the energy, easily fits into most lifestyles.
Yeah, and so, but my question is, so how much time does it actually take to make an impact, like walking?
How much time do we need to walk?
Yeah, before it actually makes an impact.
Anyone have a guess?
3 hours.
Close. 30 minutes of light to moderate walking will do the trick.
That's it? Wow. I mean, and don't forget to stretch, because that's important, right?
And another thing, you don't even need to do the 30 minutes all at once. You can break it down into 3 10-minute segments.
Oh, thank goodness, because that sounds like a lot of work.
To build upon that, we've got some great heart-healthy exercise tips coming up later on Healthier You segment.
So I was thinking we could take a 10-minute break and go
For what?
walking.
Yes.
$10.2 million raised at the 30th anniversary gala of the David Foster Foundation in support of Canadian families with children in need of a life-saving organ transplant.
Oh my. Jim Treleving stood up and said, we're going to match Jimmy and Walter for $1 million as well. Unbelievable.
140, 150, thank you. 160, 170,000, thank you. 180 bid.
David Foster. $10.2 million.
And this is how it all began.
It's a wonderful story, and it started in the early 80s when David's mother, Eleanor, who's from Victoria, where David's from, and David was living in Los Angeles at the time. And there was a little girl from Victoria that was at UCLA Medical Center waiting for a transplant at the time. And in those days, transplants were done in Canada. So Canadian families had to go to the United States in order to get their transplants. And so she phoned David and said, look, would you just go and see this little girl from our hometown who was a friend of a friend, and said, just go and see this little girl and see the family and just say hi, not as a celebrity, but as somebody that just came from the hometown. And David, of course, you do what your mother tells you to do, so of course he said yes, and he went to the hospital and started talking to the family, and he could see that there was real stresses and pressures that the family were under. And as he started to converse with them and talk with the little girl, just as he was about to leave, he said, is there anything that I can do for you, to the little girl? And he thought she would say, I want to go to Disneyland, I want to see this celebrity. But no, the little girl just looked him straight in the eyes and she said, I just want to see my sister. David stopped and he kind of pondered that for a second and then started asking more questions. And as he started to find out more, they couldn't afford the plane ticket for her sister to come down.
Oh my.
And in those days, it was maybe $100. And so David said, I'm going to make that happen. And they left the hospital. David left the hospital, made some phone calls, and the aunt and the little girl sister came down and he picked them up and he brought them to the hospital. And he said that when those two little girls' eyes met in that hospital, he said it etched in his heart forever. And he said, this is going to be my foundation. So that's how it started.
I want to just recognize that the David Foster Foundation has also been very generous to the Kidney Foundation, and your foundation has supported a few of our key programs, including Kidney Kids Camp. And thanks to organizations like yours, we've been able to send hundreds of kids to a fantastic summer camp at no cost to their families.
So many times we talk about it is allow the children to be children, allow the kids to be kids.
Absolutely.
Don't put them in a bubble. Just because they had the transplant doesn't mean that they need to be treated any differently. And camp is the greatest place where you can actually be that and forget about everything that you've gone through or try to and
all
just go and have fun. And that's really why we did it.
Just go and be a regular kid.
Right.
Yeah.
Because they haven't had that opportunity.
That's exactly it.
During their life when they were fighting for their life, because it was all about hospitals and needles and operations and literally fighting. Now, go. And you have the medical care there in case you need it.
Absolutely. We feel very honored that we can offer a program to families like that.
Well, and you have 6 camps across this country, which a lot of people don't realize. And that was the other thing that we looked at and said, wow, it's not like you're just in one province. You're across this country, nationally providing these children the opportunities, which we actually, that's one of the reasons why we support it. We think it's wonderful, and it does give these children that place to go.
You've also supported our Kidney Suites. Again, another key program for kidney patients who have had a transplant. They're down in Vancouver, they're recovering from their transplant, and through the Kidney Suites, they are provided accommodation at little or no cost. So again, another hugely important program for kidney patients, and many, many thanks to the David Foster Foundation for all your support to both those initiatives.
You never know what one thing could do and how the ripple effect can take place.
Everything else.
Right.
Obviously the David Foster Foundation has had a phenomenal impact on children and their families, children who need life-saving transplants, and that the foundation has helped over 1,000 families. And I think actually in your role as CEO, you have grown the foundation from a provincial foundation to a national foundation.
It's been wonderful to be able to support families from Newfoundland to Quebec to British Columbia, to have a foundation that starts out small but is able to expand and spread their wings. It's not only gratifying, but it's rewarding for all of the staff, but also and all of our volunteers, because they get to see that we're making a difference. And so many times in our lives that we wonder a lot, are we really making a difference? Are we making an impact? we hope.
And you can see that one family at a time. You know that you are making a difference.
Together, we're making a difference, right? So it's not one person. It may be one person that started it, but as David would say, it takes, a village to raise a family.
Absolutely.
Valentine's Day is almost here, and with a last name like mine, it's a day I should know a thing or two about. So today, I'm going to share with you some facts you may be surprised to know about Valentine's Day. Did you know St. Valentine wasn't just one person? In fact, he might have been 2 or even 3. But the most common founder of Valentine's Day was the Saint Valentine, who defied Emperor Claudius II, who had banned marriage because he thought it distracted young soldiers. Valentine felt a bit differently. He illegally married couples until he was caught and sentenced to death. While imprisoned, young couples would visit his cell and bring him flowers and cards. And the day he actually died, February 14th, of course. Today, Valentine's Day is a pretty big business. It's estimated that $10 billion is spent annually on Valentine's Day, including more than $1.7 billion on candy alone. On average, men spend $150 on Valentine's Day, and women spend about $74. Did you know over 125 million Valentine's Day cards are sent out each year? That makes it more than any other holiday except Christmas. Can you guess who receives the most amount of Valentine's Day cards? Teachers, of course. They're followed by children, mothers, wives, and girlfriends. And did you know that nearly 2 million Canadians will buy Valentine's Day gifts and cards for their dogs? Hey, for your friends need love too. Not surprising, the most popular gift on Valentine's Day is flowers, followed by chocolates and then jewelry. The first heart-shaped box of chocolates was introduced in 1868 by none other than Richard Cadbury. Today, more than 36 million heart-shaped boxes of chocolates are sold each year. That's 15 million pounds of chocolate. Necklace sweethearts, aka conversation hearts, were invented in 1866. Each box has approximately 45 sayings, including be mine, hug me, and cute stuff. And they add about 10 new sayings each year. And now you know. I'm Curtis Valentine, signing off.
My name's Tanya Tate, and I donated my kidney to my friend Todd Hopman. He was a 23-year-old man at the time, very young. He let it be known amongst his friends and family that he would need a kidney. He was on dialysis.
My function and my health slowly declined. That's when I went on a transplant list. I went about telling friends that I knew that was close enough with that, look, this is what's happening, I need a kidney. I didn't know who would say yes, who would say no, who would get tested. And, it's ups and downs, over that period when you're waiting. I mean, it's not like you can work into the conversation, like, hey, nice sunny weather, do you mind if I have that kidney? Like, you can't work into the conversation. But I think the key for me was saying, here's what's happening, and hoping, praying that somebody would come along, whether it was a family member or a friend, somebody that I didn't even know. You don't know. And there's anonymous donations, living donations that happen all the time. So I think that's important to tell the people important in your life that this is what's happening, and somebody will come forward in that process.
What did you think when I said, hey, I'll give that a try?
I was shocked. I was like, what, really? And somewhat speechless, which is rare for me. When your family comes forward, you're like, okay, you can understand it. But when, a friend comes forward, you're taken aback and you're surprised that they would be willing to give such a giant gift to you.
As much of a gift it is to receive a kidney, it's as much a gift to give one. Honestly, this is what has to happen in order for Todd to live. So, my goodness, there was no doubt that it wasn't something I wasn't going to do.
When people say, well, what does a transplant mean to you? It means life. And maybe that's oversaid, and transplant recipients say that a lot, but it does. It means that I was able to pursue my career. I got married in June. I'm have a travel bug now. The idea of planning for 5, 10 years, 20 years down the road, like everyone does, is not something that's sort of on hold. So now I feel full of life.
Todd and I are brother and sister now. We share our life with each other on almost a daily basis. I am 7 years post-transplant. I'm healthier than I've ever been. I have great energy. I would have no issues at all with anything that I ever want to do. Donation exists, and it exists for a great reason, to save lives, and that's really it. That's all you start thinking about, is that somebody will die if you don't step forward. And so how can you not step forward?
Oh, hey there. Are you ready to work up a sweat? Ryan from RD Fitness, a personal training company located in downtown Vancouver, is waiting to show you a heart-healthy mini workout perfect for you to do at home. He's ready to go, so let's not keep him waiting.
Thanks, Daniel. You look like you built up a sweat just trying to introduce me, though. Just joking. What's up, everybody? This is Ryan of RD Fitness, and welcome to Healthier You, a segment where we give you tips, tricks, and advice on ways to live a healthier, happier lifestyle. Since February's focus is heart-healthy exercises, we thought what better way to celebrate than to give you a cardio-based workout that's going to get your heart pumping and blood flowing. Now, a lot of people, when they hear the word cardio, they automatically think running on a treadmill or using the elliptical. But cardio can be anything that induces your cardiovascular system. So what we've done today is group 4 of our favorite exercises together to give you a workout that you can do any place, anytime, and any fitness level can do it. So join us, but keep up, it's gonna go fast. The first of the 4 exercises we're gonna start with is one that we broke down last episode, and that's the squat. You're gonna start shoulder width apart, feet planted firmly, and you're gonna bring your hips back like you're sitting on a chair, taking a big breath in on the way down, exhaling on the way up. You wanna keep your back straight, shoulders retracted. Perform about 15 to 20 reps depending on your fitness level. Again, if you feel lightheaded, take a break, go at your own pace. Next exercise we get into right after that is the reverse lunge. Almost identical to the squat, what you want to do is keep your weight on the heels and knees not tracking over the shoelaces. Take a big breath in on the way down and exhale on the way up. Again, 15 to 20 reps depending on how fit you are. You go at your own pace, you know your body. After the lunge, we're gonna get into a high plank position. Going down into the elbows, keep the chest and shoulders planted firmly, hips elevated to put any pressure off the back. And what you're gonna do is just step to the side, exhaling on each step, perfect. Keep the belly button sucked in so that you're keeping the core engaged, and just breathe out with every step. Again, we'll do about 20 repetitions of this. And again, feel it out. When you feel comfortable, if you can do a little bit more, do a little bit more. If you need to take it back a notch, do a few less reps. The last exercise, but probably one of the most effective exercises, is the leg raise. Now, what you're gonna do is put your hands in the shape of a diamond underneath your butt. This is gonna take some of the pressure off your lower back. So you're gonna keep your legs straight, raising them up, lowering them down slowly, keeping the core contracted the whole way. Now this can be a little bit hard on the lower back, so one way to regress this is bring the knees into the hips and just roll the knees into the chest, pushing your hands into the mat as you bring your knees in. Exhaling on the way in, inhaling on the way down. And again, go at your own pace and listen to your body. Remember, it's not what you're doing, it's that you're exercising in general. Our goal is to help motivate you to get your body moving. This has been Ryan of RD Fitness with my beautiful wife Kim for another episode of Healthier You. Join us next time on Plugged In.
Do you want to talk about a few of the initiatives, programs that the David Foster Foundation has supported over the years?
Yeah, you know, I think the biggest one for us was raising the awareness. What can we do in this country to actually become better at increasing the percentage rates? And as you know, I mean, our percentage rates in our country are so low for organ donor registration. We're one of the lowest countries, developing countries in the percentages in the world.
Which is actually, I think, quite a shocking fact, and many people don't even realize that.
Right.
Yeah.
And it is, because we look at how wonderful our country is and how amazing we have it here. But for that statistic to be there, we can make that change. And so that was really our big one. So we do, we have Operation Registration, which is essentially we're out on the streets. We work with companies and so forth to build the organ donor awareness program, educate the staff, and then we also are just working in the schools now. We're starting to go into the schools. And then we have a program called Be a Donor, Save a Life, and that's a corporate challenge. And you know, we also have our corporate partners.
You know, it's interesting when you talk about organ donation, because at the Kidney Foundation, this is a huge priority area for us as well. In fact, we run a campaign called Saving Lives Through Organ Donation, and have set a goal to increase organ donor registration by 50%. So we are very, very vested in this. It's certainly a goal that we both share, and who knows, maybe there'll be some
ways that we can work together.
Future partnerships, which would be wonderful. Well, thank you so much, Mike. It's been an absolute pleasure speaking with you today, and thank you for all the fantastic work that the David Foster Foundation is doing, helping children that need life-saving organ transplants. It really doesn't get better than that.
Thanks so much.
Thanks so much.
Hello, friends. I'm Alistair at You, and people ask me, Mr. At You, what can I give my love this Valentine's Day? I want to give a flower, but what else can I give in order to express my devotion towards them? Well, I'll tell you what you give, a kidney card. Here's some of the ones we have in the shop. Roses are red, violets are blue, take care of your kidneys and they'll take care of you. Be mine, I kitty you not. Choose, good kidney health. I love this one. I love you with my kidney the moment I could see you have a healthy body and you're giving it to me. I love all of you, but your kidney is divine because you take good care of it. Be my Valentine. We got hundreds of them, hundreds of kidneys that you can have. Get yours today.
If your kidney's on the fritz and you weren't feeling fine, just because I love you, I would give you one of mine.
Hi, I'm Kayla for Community Calendar. Thanks for joining us on our special Valentine's Day episode of Plugged In. It's 2018 and the buzz is building for the 6th annual Kidney Gala, and this year we're bringing the glitz and glam of Hollywood to Vancouver. Join us on March 8th at the Fairmont Hotel, Vancouver for a gourmet 3-course meal, cocktails, entertainment, a wine and spirits wall, and our much anticipated live and silent auctions. For more information or to purchase your tickets, please visit kidneygala.com. Don't forget to check out the Kidney Gala website for all of the exciting details. Are you looking to be more active, wanting to learn how to dance? How about enjoy a new activity or meet new people? Vancouver-based Dragon Boat team Participation to Wellness has the answer for you. They are inviting you to join them at the False Creek Community Center every Sunday from 1:30 to 3:30 p.m. to dance and enjoy a social activity. Everyone is welcome and the only requirement is to have fun. For more information, please contact the information on your screen. The Kidney Foundation is an organization that supports patients living with kidney disease. If you know of an event that the kidney community should be aware of, we want to know. Please get in touch with us via Twitter or let us know on our Facebook page. I'm Kayla Wallace reporting for Community Calendar. Thanks for joining us on our special Valentine's Day episode of Plugged.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Chocolates! I wonder who's gonna eat these. Happy Valentine's Day!
And that wraps up another episode of Plugged In. Thanks so much for joining us, and I hope you enjoyed the show as much as we enjoyed bringing it to you.
And a very special thanks to all our guests who showed up in studio and on location.
And of course, thank you for joining us again on Plugged In. Now we want to hear what you thought of today's episode. So let us know on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Like, share, and spread the word, and email us at pluggedin@kidney.ca.
And a very special thanks to our sponsor, Kidney Car.
Absolutely. Just want to leave you with one more thought. If you have not already done so, why not register your wishes to be an organ donor? It's easy and only takes 2 minutes of your time. Just go to kidney.ca
And click on that red button because I'm living proof that it does work and it saves lives.
Remember, heroes aren't born, they're registered.
Again, thank you for joining us. We will see you next time right here on Plugged In.
Ten.